Islam is a religion of violence, here is the proof. And with verses from his own book, the Quran. Muhammad 1-4. Those who disbelieve and hinder from the path of Allah, Allah has rendered all their deeds worthless. Those who believe and do good deeds and believe in what was revealed to Muhammad, which is the truth from their Lord, Allah will forgive their sins and correct their situation. That is because those who disbelieve follow falsehood and those who believe follow the truth from their Lord. Thus Allah describes to the people their exemplary situation. When you encounter those who disbelieve, strike their necks off. When you have subdued them, tie them up tightly. So release them from now on, either without compensation or against ransom. This is the rule until the war ends. If Allah willed, He would have taken vengeance on them. But He only tests you one against the other. As for those who are killed in the way of Allah, Allah will never let their deeds go to waste. There is no need to twist it. Islam is a religion of violence. These verses are the proof of the book within itself. The word war does not appear in the first verses, they make a forced addition with parentheses. Just as they translated it as, young boys, young servants, that will be given to them as gifts in heaven, they also intentionally mistranslated these verses and turned them into self-defense. However, the incident is entirely about invasion and occupation, Islam's policy of invasion and invasive expansion. It is stated in the verses, Allah has rendered worthless the deeds of those who disbelieve and hinder from the path of Allah. In other words, they are the ones addressed, unbelievers and those who hinder from the path of Allah, in short, unbelievers. In the Surah Kafirun, the group that is given the freedom to not believe in the form of, Lekum dinikum bay liye din, your religion is for you, my religion is for me, is the group, in other words, they are not those who wage war, but those who do not believe. Pay close attention here, because if you get this part wrong, it will become clear that Islam is a religion of justice, and if you get it right, it will become clear that Islam is a religion of invasion and violence. And yes, it is true, Islam is a religion of violence. In fact, the cause-effect relationship of the first verse is given in the second verse. Allah will forgive the sins of those who believe in what was revealed to Muhammad and begin to do good deeds and will help them to improve their situation. In other words, even if we wanted to, we cannot achieve this with our own will. In the continuation of the verses, it says, we will test you with one another. Look at this. It is being tested. God, who is closer to his servant than his jugular vein, is testing each other by cutting off their heads to see who believes and who doesn't. Wow! Was it he who created all humanity and whose mercy surpassed his wrath? Are we lab rats? Or are we just puppets? What do you mean, we're testing you? As if it wasn't enough that he had us beheaded, he also says that he's testing you. Do you laugh or cry? In the continuation of the verses it says, those who persist in their disbelief denial have followed falsehood and must be destroyed. This is the excuse for starting the war, following falsehood. They accept falsehood as not complying with their own reality. In the Quran, God says, La ikraha fidini, there is no compulsion in religion, and at the same time suggests, will you exhaust yourself because they do not believe in your word? And yet he helps them with war and occupation because they follow falsehood. Oh my! What a beautiful religion! We could not expect a book full of contradictions to give rational, logical and conscientious commands. In the course of history, which progresses according to the principle of opposition, they have now developed legitimate reasons for declaring war on the grounds that they believe the other side is following falsehood and does not believe in what Allah has revealed. Because what these fixed-minded people believe in is the absolute truth, and those who do not believe in what they believe in are, according to them, those who follow falsehood and their heads should be cut off. The excuse for invasion and war is now ready. When the rewards of booty, heaven and women were added, fighting became obligatory. Now, When they start a war, invasion, they can immediately take your head and or keep the wealthier ones captive until the invasion is over. When the invasion is over and the war is over, if you accept to pay them a ransom bribe, they can release you. In any case, the invasion is over and you no longer have any authority. This is the policy of spreading Islam: cut, burn, destroy, and annihilate. The way this is implemented on a state basis is divide, fragment and destroy. They use religion to divide, politics to fragment, and armed force to destroy. Islam is a religion of submission. It commands unconditional, unquestioning and unconditional obedience. You have no chance of rejecting what you are asked to obey. Religion, even if it goes against your reason and logic. Because all truths have already been determined for them. Your duty is to say, we hear and we obey, Semina and Edina, see An-Nisa 46. If you don't, your head will go. They present these 4 verses as the legitimate defense of Muslims against infidel attacks. There is no connection. What is explained here is exactly the Islam that ISIS understands and practices. None of these verses say, fight against those who fight you. Because the verses that say this are different verses, see Al-Baqarah 190, and that subject is different from this subject. Those verses describe legitimate defense, yes, but these verses clearly describe an invasion. No matter what anyone says. Islam is a religion of violence, and when it comes to the words of God, one wrong can cancel out all the truths.